Hello friend, welcome to Live with Ease. My name is Julia, and today we will be focusing on Sasangasana or rabbit pose modifications. I almost said from the ground up. That was last week. So last week we did the pose from the ground up. This week we are going to work on the modifications. So even if you're someone who can practice the posture from the ground up, this is actually really great to try as well and explore and play with. It will give you different feedback, different ways to sense the posture and feel expansion, release, and space in your whole system, especially your neck, shoulders, your mind. So great, so fun. A few things you will need for the modifications are 2 chairs. So 1 chair to sit on to start the practice sitting. The second one, preferably if it's a bench or something that doesn't have a back or arms, just to give you more play room, okay? If you don't have a bench, any chair really is fine. You can kind of maneuver and play around, but you'll see in the practice what I mean when we get to it. And also a folded blanket or towel. Again, something you can place on this firm seat of the chair or the bench. Alrighty. So get into your yogi cozies, your comfy cozies, and let's get bunny bouncing. Modified bunny bouncing. We're not actually bunny bouncing, but it'll make you feel buoyant and bouncy like a bunny is the goal. All right. Pause this video, grab your things. We'll see you very soon. Alrighty, so let's start sitting on your chair. So again, we'll have something, this could be a chair, a stool, something a little bit lower, medium height, preferably no back, or if it has a back, maybe making sure it has like a hole between the back of the chair and the seat. So you could slide your arms under if you choose. The other thing, if you feel like you're worried about the chair tipping over or the bench, place it against the wall and bring your mat towards the wall. Place the chair against the wall so that if it does move, if you find you're putting more force than you need to, because if this is new to you, it might feel a bit foreign and you might put more force than you actually need to because there's no force involved. However, when things are new, we do funny things. So if you're worried about that, please bring your mat and your chair or your bench closer to the wall so that if it does move, it's not going to tip over and you're not going to go falling over the chair. Okay, and then we'll start sitting on the other chair. So you need those 2 types of chairs or seats. I only have a stool. I would prefer actually sitting on something maybe closer to this height, like a normal chair height. But again, I don't own a chair. Weird, I know. Just a stool. So I'm going to use a stool, but whatever you have, if this means you sit on the couch and you use a chair for the pose, then that's fine too. All right. But you want whatever you are going to, I know I'm talking a lot. Whatever you're going to rest the skull on to be something a little firmer. And then, yeah, you can place your folded blanket or towel on top of it. It's going to give better feedback and support your neck too. If it's the couch or too deep of a cushion, a soft cushion, it's not as stable for the neck. Okay. So we want to support the neck as much as we can. All right. So to begin, let's just warm up a little bit in the neck, speaking of the neck and shoulders. So maybe just starting with a little bit of a head tilt to one side. And then shifting from side to side, nice and easy, nice and slow, especially if you're someone who experiences dizziness or is triggered by vertigo, I mean, this practice might not be ideal. However, if we go nice and slowly, gently, mindfully through this practice, and if you need to pause anytime you're triggered or sense it coming, just take a second to breathe, reinforce your nervous system, or letting your nervous system know that you are safe, okay? So we don't want to go into panic mode. We want to just keep calming the nervous system if we get triggered by certain movements. Okay. Good. And then maybe tilting the chin down. And then elongate the neck so I'm not crunching back, keeping the back of the neck nice and long. Good. And then turning the head from one side to the other. Yeah, let the jaw drop, stick out the tongue, let it rest on the lower lip. Let it be a soft exhalation, and then creating a little bit of circling in the neck or the head. Also, as you move the head in different positions, reverse the circle. Also check in with your nervous system. How are you feeling? Do you feel jittery? Do you feel calm? And then coming to the center, yeah, continue to check in. Do you feel anxious? Is your mind busy? Do you feel tense? Just noticing what you feel as you continue to move here, circling the shoulders, because we will check back in at the end of our practice. Good, rolling the shoulders back if you want to do single. And forward. Nice. Double. Beautiful. Maybe shrug. Good. And then shaking out the hands a little bit. And wrists, flicking the fingers. Good. Circling the wrists, spreading the fingers. Nice. And then let's interlace the fingers, pressing them forward up to the ceiling. Nice long spine. Sit bones into your chair. Skull, arms upward, open, out. Interlace, press. Inhale up, exhale lower. One more. Interlace the fingers, flip the palms. Inhale, take them up. Exhale, good. Okay, so now we're going to turn our chair to face our lovely little bench here. And you might need to play with your distance between your chair and the bench. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by resting the forehead onto the cushion. Yeah, and then here you're going to see, how do I feel on my seat? I feel like my seat's a little too far, so I'm going to bring it in. And then resting the forehead on the blanket, on the seat. I'm going to rest my forearms on the chair. Taking a few out breaths. And then here I can just gently kind of rock or roll the skull from side to side, massaging the forehead, quieting the busy frontal lobe. Keep dropping in the jaw. Exhaling through the mouth, heavy, relaxed jaw. Good. And then eventually I'm going to rest here in the center. You can keep your arms where they are, or you can extend them and let them hang if this means your spine gets longer. You walk your forehead a little further forward. Yeah, taking a few breaths here. Inhale through the nose, exhale, release the pelvis, sit bones into your chair. Forehead, arms into the other chair. Good. Nice. And then eventually, again, you can decide how many variations you want to take here. And I'm just going to keep building. And if you want to give the next version a try and then you're like, not for me, then go back to this variation, rolling the forehead. Okay, so just finding what feels good for you. Accessible, comfortable. Good. So I'm going to bend the elbows and I'm going to place the hands under my blanket because I want to make sure I have a good grip on my support here. And then you're going to bring the top of the forehead to the blanket or the chair. And then you're going to find some support and stability in your feet. So you might need to bend the knees a little more, find your foundation. And then from here, what you're going to do is you're going to bring the pelvis off the chair and roll to the top of the skull. And then from here, I can play with rolling towards the top of the forehead to the top of the skull. Just kind of rolling around, forward and back, keeping that jaw dropped. Again, I'm not pushing forward like this. I don't want my chair to tilt. I want to keep just thinking down. And again, I'm not pushing my skull into the ground. I'm not pressing into the top of the skull, into my support, or my hands pressing vigorously. I want to just think of gravity acting on my bones. So it's nice and easy, nice and light. Yeah? Good. And then just massaging around the sides of the skull. Good, good, good. Awesome. And as I said in the version from the ground up, avoid any turning or twisting of the head or neck. Yeah, I want to keep my face looking at my legs. Good. Drop that jaw. This is just so great for the head, the neck. It's a good massage for all those sutures in the skull, which are between each of the segments of the skull. So the skull is not one big bone. It's divided into different bones that eventually fuse in adulthood. However, they still have little sutures, little kind of crevices, cracks between them. There's still these micro joints. Good. Nice. And then I'm going to bend my knees and bring my sit bones back on the chair, slowly roll myself up. If you feel dizzy, you can take the arms above the head, or you can bring the hands into prayer position, cross the thumbs, and just gaze at that one thumbnail to kind of bring your focus back in. And then just keep settling here, sitting upright. Allow that beautiful energy to disperse throughout the body, especially the upper body, neck, shoulders, upper spine. Yeah, if you want to roll the shoulders, move the head and neck, and just see how that feels. Good. Nice. so those are those first two variations in this modification of rabbit pose, moon pose, or hare pose, or bunny, in honor of Easter this month. All right, so the next variation. So this is now going to take the hands away, the hand support away. So when you are in the previous variation, you have the opportunity to disperse your weight bearing through your hands, the skull, the feet, and now you'll have the feet, legs, and just the skull, okay? So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna fold forward. I can place my hands on my chair or my bench just to build my foundation here and support. I'm gonna rest that forehead back on my blanket. I'm gonna keep the knees bent. I'm gonna bring the pelvis off of my chair, and then I'm gonna release the hands. And if you wanna bring the feet closer together, you can, and you're gonna wrap the hands, arms behind the knees. And from here, I can take a little squat, dropping the pelvis, and then roll towards the top of the skull again. This is where I think having the bench or the chair against the wall is quite useful. And so again, you can take hold of the wrists or the hands. Yeah, and just kind of lowering the pelvis and then taking the pelvis away from the chair, getting you more on top of the skull, finding a little more of that flexion in the spine. So you can just gently press and resist the hands against the legs. Find that flexion. Good. The other option here is if you release the hands and interlace the fingers behind. That's another variation you can take. If you want to straighten the knees a little bit, that might be fun. Again, notice that I'm not pushing my energy forward to tip the chair, take the chair off of its grounding. I want to just think gravity acting straight down my spine into the skull, into my support. Good. Could take a few breaths here. Yeah. I can bring my arms back behind the legs. Awesome. This variation actually is quite nice and strengthening for the glutes as well and the legs. But also I find it very relaxing in my neck and shoulders. If you want, you can even let the arms dangle either forward or behind. Good. And then eventually releasing the pelvis to your chair. Sitting upright, take a moment here just to notice what you feel. Ooh, yeah. Do you feel the energy expanding in the torso, in the thoracic cavity, in the skull, in the spine? I feel like energetically I'm expanding, that there's more space and freedom in the skull, in the spine, in the face, my thorax. Good. Just take a moment to notice, check in with your nervous system again. How is it feeling? Has it changed in any way? Good. And then I can go back to circling a little bit in the shoulders, on my head and neck. Good, 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 good. Yeah, if you want to take that warm up where we interlace the fingers, flip the palm, bring the arms up. Does that feel any different? Good. One more. Awesome. And there you have it. That is rabbit pose, hare, moon, bunny modification. So if you prefer to play without being on your knees and you want to sit, and it's less weight bearing or grounding, it's not so intense on the skull. We can distribute a little more of the weight. So hopefully that resonates with you. Hopefully this modification is accessible, enjoyable. Please let me know in the comments below how or what your experience of this modification feels like, went. Also, this is great to do even, if you're someone who can do rabbit pose traditionally down on the ground. This is actually quite a lovely way to play with the posture as well. So even if you can do the other version, try this. It's so fun. I feel so free and calm in my system, in my energy. I'm really excited for what the day is going to bring now. I just feel very playful, giddy. That's just my response in this moment. So please let me know how it went for you. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do. Also share the channel, share the video, ask questions if you have any requests. I do have a request for a certain posture, which will be coming up next month. Excited about it. It's a challenging posture. So we will do it in the way that we do every other posture from the ground up, finding some modifications and also some creative posture play. Not much creative posture play in this posture. But hey, if you have any suggestions or you feel there is, please let me know and I will be happy to make a video on that or explore that. Be well, my friends. Remember, go at your own pace. It's your body, your breath, your movement. You are your greatest teacher. Your breath is your greatest teacher. So please honor that, listen to you. And thank you for joining today. Be well. I'll leave you with this final mantra, bringing your palms of the hands together to the forehead. Think love to the lips. Speak love to the heart center. Be love. Again, be well. Take care. And until next time, ease into your best life.